Hey, it's Tess. For those that don't know me, I'm a bariatric patient. Have completed 8 years post-surgical. I am in my 9th year post-surgical from bariatric surgery. Doc V challenged me to go live probably 3.5 years ago. Then he challenged me to never stop, and I guess I have listened pretty well because I just haven't stopped. Today I thought I would talk about mindset, and I wanted to get on here earlier because the day gets away. But I thought I'd talk about mindset because I've been making, like all of us, I'm forever looking for things to change and to keep moving forward and to learn and to find out what next steps will be. So I decided today I'd talk about mindset, and I found an article that gave the 7 crucial mindset shifts that will help you achieve everything you want in life. And of course, I found a quote that I thought was kind of playful and fun, so I'm going to share that to start with. And the quote says, "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers. You can quote them, you can disagree with them, you can glorify or vilify them. You can vilify them about the only thing you can't do is push the human, it's so bad. The only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward." Rob Sultan. And I said that wrong, so I'm going to repeat it one more time. "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify them, or vilify them. About the only thing that you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward." And I like that. I love that. It kind of reminds me of the Christmas show, the Misfits. I'd rather be a misfit. I'd rather be one of those people any day. And that quote spoke to me. So you guys got to hear it twice because I couldn't get it out the first time. So the first thing I thought I'd start with is this article that talks about the 7 crucial mindset shifts that you have to do to achieve everything you want in life. And I do agree with these because I've had to make these changes in my life in the past year. I was living inside a box that somebody created for me, and then I had to decide, was that truly what I wanted out of my life? And the answer was no. So the first one they say is take time to define your vision. See, I can't talk. Take time to define your vision and your passion. There's no vision without seeing. And I started thinking about what are the tools I've used, so you guys get to see some of my tools. Because, yes, I've created tools. And here is vision boards. And this kind of came to mind to me because I'm getting notifications of people that are getting ready to set up classes to create vision boards for next year. But I thought it was funny because a lot of these I've had around for a while, and I should burn them because after a certain point in time, you're supposed to refresh them. But I wanted a home office. I wanted to do charity work, and I do all these things. I wanted my own garden, and I did that for a few years, and I want to get back into more of that. I still do raspberries, strawberries, tomatoes, peppers, whatever I can grow, I grow. This was traveling, and over here is just continuing with the weight loss journey. So this board I created some years ago, and yes, if it's in my face, it reminds me of where my goals are or what I want to do going forward. So did I create a vision? Yes, I did create a vision. The next one I thought was really kind of funny because it talks about masterminds. And yes, anybody who knows me knows I go to a lot of those. I love the training, I love the education, and I love the circle of people. So this one has lots of them in money school, and I didn't even know where I'd end up with in money school. I still don't totally know, but all of these things are moving forward. And then I have the clover, because anyone who's followed me knows that 4 and 5 leaf clovers are important to me. It's because nature was important in my family. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers did a lot of work with animals and outdoors because they worked and lived on a farm. And the other one was big about what do you hear? What do you see? What do you think it is? What does it smell like? Where do you think it's coming from? She wanted us aware. She said we were too... In the days when they were alive, they said we were too busy and we weren't paying attention to the environment around us. Boy, I'll tell you, they'd have a field day with us if they were alive today. But my one grandmother taught me how to find 4-leaf clovers, and I can remember the whole time she was alive, she wanted me to find a 5-leaf clover because a 5-leaf clover means wealth. And I named my business after five-leaf clovers because that was something so important to my grandmother. But what's kind of interesting is that I did not find my first 5-leaf clover until after she passed, and I found more than one. So what I'll say is that her hand guided me to find those 5-leaf clovers. And ironically, one of them I found when I was at a Money Tank event in Utah. So it was really kind of a cool thing. But here's my last one, and there's a lot of the clover stuff on here. But I just thought that I would share some of the tools that I've used in the past couple of years because I have had to make changes in my life and look at things differently outside of what I was groomed and raised to believe. So the first thing is take time to define your vision and your passion. Those boards were part of that. The other thing they say is become clear and very precise about what you want. And I have on the wall, and I didn't pull it down, but I have a board that I prepared at the end of the year with like 13 goals. And a lot of them I've done. Some of them I've had to adjust. I'll just keep moving forward. So do I create vision boards? Yes. Do I create goal boards? Yes. I also understand that those goal boards might change, but I do have one. I do follow it. My life license was on it. Closing these retailer businesses was on it. You know, there's been a couple of different things that I've been working on. Getting some personal financials current was on it. There's all these things that I've been working on, and they have happened, and I have moved forward with them. The third thing is continually reinforce your motivation. For me, part of that is coming live all the time. Part of that is when I start to struggle with words and I don't feel good about myself, I have tools around. Like I often talk about the Serenity Prayer. I think there's a lot of quotes that are offshoots of the Serenity Prayer. It'll tell you that you've got to think positive. Well, that's if you want to really go down to it, it's about accept what you can change, let go of what you have no control over because there's nothing you can do about it. But I do have like these type of things because this is the Serenity Prayer. And then below it I say procrastination is the assassination of your destination. And then another thing I often talk about is that I keep a list of 300 positive words. So here's that list that I always refer to. And I like playful words. When I'm struggling, when I don't feel at my best, when I feel like things are blocking me, I will go to this list just for a fun, playful word. For someone who struggled with English, now that I understand it and I recognize its patterns and I've tutored reading, I understand it differently and there's a playfulness to it that I truly enjoy. So I like some of these words, delectable, delicious, delightful, tantalizing, innovative, interesting, intuitive. I like all of these different things. Bliss, glitter, bliss, those kind of words. Anything that will just make me smile or laugh. I like that and it moves me forward. So yes, just things that I keep around that will hit me when I'm having a struggling moment. So now we know that having a vision, now know that vision can change. I use those vision boards, but I also know that I keep moving forward. I don't use the vision board as what people call a manifestation tool. It's just a feel good that I'm moving towards something because it doesn't always happen at the pace I'd like it to be, but it does help to keep me moving forward. Clear and precise, writing things down, goals. You know, like I put together cards that'll say, my goal is to actively contribute to the growth, development, and success of Money School. That was one of my goals at the end of the year, so I'll read that a couple of times. And yes, I am working in that direction, and I have made some big changes, and actually changes that were not even part of this quote that I put together, but I wanted to actively contribute, and I keep working towards that goal. Another thing it talks about is make a plan for achieving your dream and set a start date. And I got some hearts, so thank you for those hearts. I appreciate it. And it talks about making a plan. And on my big board out here, I actually put dates. Like I wanted to pass the life exam by a certain date. I wanted to have some personal financials I was working on ready by a certain date. Now I worked really hard to try to make that one happen, but there were forces outside of my control that blocked me on that. I put down, certain financial goals for myself personally and a number of masterminds. And I think I'm going to be just short on that one. But I just put the goals on there and I put dates so that I'd keep moving forward on them. The next thing they talk about is work on your beliefs. And I think that is so important because the tools, like I mentioned, that I've been working on I use the vision boards. I use these as reminders when I'm not feeling good. During lockdown, when everything was so tough, I used affirmations. I used positive statements, anything I could to keep myself moving forward. I use these goals where my goal is to actively contribute to the growth and development and success of Money School. I use these books, and this book is just full of quotes that I use. I feel so happy and blessed. My life is really, really good. I'm happy where I am, and I'm reaching for more. Because I don't want to look at life as what I don't have. I want to look at it as what I can work towards and what I can continue to grow into. I think we achieve more when we're happy and appreciative of where we're at, and we're reaching for more. So I have the whole book, and whenever I run across a quote I like, I'll actually write it down in this book, and then I go back and look at them. And I have a leather-bound book too. Yeah, it's up there on the shelf. I have a leather-bound book that I like to write in sometimes too, that it's very colorful. So that's another thing that I use to keep myself moving forward. It says, as well as working on your beliefs, it says embrace discipline. And I've often talked about that. I walk every day and it's 15,000 steps, and I'm working to become a runner because that seems to be harder for me as I've gotten old. No, I'm changing those words. I'm going to slay that beast and I'm going to run in Disney because that's something I've always wanted to do. I was so close to it early, before I had a major surgery, 2 weeks away, ready to go, and I got pulled for medical reasons. So guess what? That isn't going to happen this time, so I'm going to get there. And all right, I'll throw it out there, 2025. Soon they should be signing up for 2025, so I'll have to take a look for that. The next thing they say is embrace the discipline. So for me, that means that every single day I do something towards my goal. And you hear that from every self-help person out there. Tony Robbins will tell you that. Russell Brunson will tell you that. I forget all their names, but there's a million of them. Doc V will tell you that. Chris Naga will tell you that. They will all tell you to be doing something working towards your goal every single day. I do that. It says decide, the number 7 tip is decide each day to take 3 small steps towards your dream life. And I thought that's a good one too. And one of the quotes I had, and I wonder if it's in this book. Yes. This I think would be a great way to do your 3 daily wins a day. I read a quote recently that said we all should have 3 daily wins a day, which goes hand in hand with this crucial mindset. And it says we should have a physical win every single day, which is walking, running, lifting, or swimming. We should have a mental win, reading, writing, creating, or learning. And we should have a spiritual win, praying, meditating, studying, or growing. I agree with that. And that goes hand in hand with 3 small steps every day to a dream life, because that's covering a big area of your life. Whether it's a physical win, getting my 15,000 steps and learning to run, whether it's a mental win, learning, creating, writing, and whether it's a spiritual win, praying, meditating, growing spiritually so that I can project a better person to the world. So I will remind you, these are meant to help you feel good. They're those stones with tiger's eye and stuff. But just as a reminder, I use vision boards. I use these on the wall, or I pull them off in a book that are like the Serenity Prayer, 300 positive words. I use cards of what my goals are for the year. I have a big, huge card that has all my goals for the year. There are tools that I use. I listen to affirmations. I meditate every single day. There are things you can do to help yourself to move forward. And I think it's worth it. I'll tell you that when I had bariatric surgery 8 years ago, I sat on the sidelines praying to get off the sidelines just for even 10 years. If I could just get off the sidelines for 10 years, if I got called home, at least I didn't waste my entire adult life. Now I always say that the Grim Reaper better have a hoverboard, because I'm not making it easy. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to be one of those people that lives to be 150, healthy, strong, and creating waves for the young ones to struggle to keep up with me, because there's a lot in this world that we can do to make it better. And no one has to know my name, but if I can be a part of making it better, that'll be a most awesome gift. Because I always say when I slide into home, I want God to high five me and say, you might have been a late starter, but you did an amazing job. Welcome home. So I'll end with this quote that I love so much before I hang up. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers. You can quote them, you can disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing that you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. That's my wish. That's my wish for you. If it's your desire, let's push things forward in a way better than any of us could have ever dreamed. Thank you for being here. In one quick time, 7 crucial mindset steps. Take time to define your vision, become clear and very precise about what you want, continually reinforce, make a plan for achieving your dream and adjust it often, work on your beliefs, meaning your mindset, your thoughts, embrace discipline, and decide each day to take 3 steps. And I think the best 3 steps are a physical win, a mental win, and a spiritual win. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know, and we'll talk soon.